My PlayStation wish list. Let's go. Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. How's your week been? What have you been up to? Great, you did it. I'm really happy for you. About time you did that. Well done. Sorry. Yeah, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this week's video where we're looking at my PlayStation wish list. Okay. Excuse me. I got a little bit bunged up as well, as I'm sure we all are, because the temperatures starting to drop here in the UK. So what I'm going to do is I've looked on CEX website. I got these prices within the last 5 or 6 days, I want to say. So these prices are current as of the release of this video, basically. Okay. So I'm going through all my consoles, going on CEX and doing a screenshot or screen grab of every single game I want to add to my collection. Okay. Like one of the videos I did, I think there was only 6 or 7 games I needed. It's £40 odd. But this week we're looking at the PlayStation, so buckle up. This is going to be a big one. There is, got my list here. There's 28 games, okay, ranging from in price. There's a couple of £12 games on there. And there's one £140 game on there, okay? As well, this isn't saying I'm going to go out and buy all these games straight away. You've got to chip away at these big wish lists, you know? So that's my advice, you know? Spend within your means, as they say, okay? Some of the games I had back in the day, some of the games I've never played and always been wanting to play. So let's get going, shall we? So I get no particular order, or the order it is come up on the CEX website, okay? So the first game I want to add, this is a funny one, is Tenchu, okay? Or Tenchu Stealth Assassin. And Assassins, rather. About 2 months ago, if you said, have I got this game? I would have said, yeah, definitely got it. But I've got Tenchu 2. I almost remember buying Tenchu, unless I've traded it in for some bizarre reason. I don't know why I would have done that though. So I've been after this game for a long old time. So that's £15, okay? I have written the prices down. I've added them up. We'll talk about the money at the end, okay? Yeah, so £15 for Tenchu, okay? Another game, I nearly had this in my collection. Exhumed. I can't pronounce every single word or every single game, okay? I remember they had this game in Port Talbot CEX at one point, but I had a bit of savings and I had my screenshots. And in Port Talbot CEX, they got the PS1 games, like in most CEXs, behind the cabinet at the front of the store or in the window kind of thing. So the guy was talking to me, he, you know, giving me good customer service, but I completely forgot about that game, whatever it's fucking called, it's called that, whatever you pronounce it, okay? And I completely forgot about it. Then when I was sitting on the train waiting to come home, I went, I forgot about that game. So I was debating whether to go back. I thought, I'll be there next time I go back. But none of my CXs have got it in stock. But the other interesting thing, I suppose, with this game, I think it got reviewed pretty badly because of the control setup, but it was very modern. It's very close to, apparently, what current first-person shooters are today. But I think it came out at a time where perhaps we weren't ready for it. So it's very tricky controls or something like that. So that's an interesting thing. So that tells me it'll probably translate better so for a modern gamer to go back and play these retro games, you know. So yeah, Exhumed, that game, £12, okay. What's next? Star Wars Dark Forces. I got no idea why I haven't played this before. There's a couple of decent Star Wars games came out on the PlayStation. I think this was a PC game as well. I've heard good things about it. I've watched like these YouTube videos where they talk about Star Wars video games as a whole, like all the games that came out, and yeah, I really like the look of it. So I thought, getting the collection, that's £20. I've never seen that in the wild. Another Star Wars game, which I've never seen in the wild either. Star Wars Rebel Assault 2. Looks like a ton of fun. So the full title is Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, The Hidden Empire. Boxed. I don't think that's part of the name. That's £15, so get in thy collection. Gundam Battle Assault 2 is £28. The thing with Gundam games, they're quite collectible, aren't they? I owned only 2 or 3 Gundam games. They're all really good. Gundam, they're good. Sorry, cheese. So that's £28 to get in the collection. Now, there's 3, I think, Holy Grails in my wish list. This is up there. This is one of the 3, okay? It's Rival Schools. It's currently £50. I have seen this game in the wild. It was £75 in the Cardiff gaming market. I went a couple of months ago. Had it in my hand. Very good condition. It's a 2-disc game as well. Both discs looked in good condition. But I couldn't justify, knowing that it was £52 at the time in CX, so it's only £2 cheaper now. I couldn't justify spending nearly £25 more for a good condition. So I'm going to play the waiting game on that. But one day, maybe next year, I'm going to add that. Oh, I've always wanted to play it. Rival Schools needs to be in my collection. Like Indiana Jones and all these artifacts need to be in a museum. All these amazing fighting games need to be in my collection. Okay, that's £50. So some of these games are quite pricey. Okay, this is a blind buy. I thought I liked the look of the cover. So does anyone know if it's any good? Bushido Blades. I have heard of this, actually, thinking about it. And the other thing, other than the cool artwork on it, it's made by Squaresoft by the looks of it. That's £18. Can't say much more about it because I don't know much more about it. But yeah, let me know. Anybody played it? Now, the next game is Pocket Fighter. It's £40. I have got this game on the Capcom Fighting Collection. It's there somewhere, okay? Probably the best collection that come out in the last 2-3 years, put it that way. It's up there with the Samurai Showdown collection, okay? The Capcom Fighting collection. But this is me I wouldn't consider my PlayStation collection complete without this game. And there's a couple of games like this, like technically got versions of it, or better versions, you can argue. But from a collector, I got my collector Jurassic Park hat on now, okay? £40, I want that in my collection, okay? It's not the waste of money, but as I'm a little bit strapped for cash right now, I got my motorbike to pay for and stuff like that. I'll give an update on my motorbike tomorrow. There's nothing much to update, unfortunately. That's £40. If I see it in good condition and I've got the spare £40, it's coming home with me, okay? Another one, similar kind of thing. Street Fighter Alpha, £25 on the PlayStation 1. The best version, or the almost arcade perfect version, is obviously on the Capcom Fighting Collection. So no, it's not. Sorry, it's on the Street Fighter Collection, 30th Anniversary Edition. Another great. Capcom do the best compilations, don't they? So that's my go-to. But again, with my collector's Jurassic Park cap on, £25. If I've got it, it's coming home with me. Okay. R-Types. This is £20. I've been on almost a bit of a shoot 'em up kick, I suppose. You don't see many of these games in the wild, I believe there's 2. It's R-Type 1 and R-Type 2, I think. I was looking the other day, actually. What is the difference between this and R-Type Delta? Does anyone know the difference? That'll make an appearance pretty soon as well, R-Type Delta. Are they different games? I don't know, okay? But this should be the version I get first, I suppose, and then find out for myself. That's currently £20, okay? Right, this is the second Holy Grail on my wish list. Dynasty Warriors, the first one, Okay, now I love the Samurai Warriors franchise. I'm a big fan of the Dynasty Warriors franchise. I remember one of the CEXs we did a pickups. I think it was Newport. Shout out Newport CEX. You messed up my order on something else. But it looked like someone had traded in their collection of Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors on the PlayStation 2. And there was a load of them came out on that console. So I came out with a stack of them. Obviously, they're like the arena hack and slash. You got like one man against 100 enemies or thousands of enemies or whatever. But did you know that Dynasty Warriors 1, or this game, was a fighting game? And I nearly had it one day. Funny enough, it was in Newport CX, so showing it in stock. And the day I went, like it was showing it the night before, someone must have bought it at 9 o'clock that morning, because I was there about 10 o'clock. I checked on my phone again, and they weren't showing any. So I was that close. I was within an hour of having this in my collection, so it must have been a good condition because someone else bought it just before me. So hopefully you're enjoying that, whoever's got that. Yeah, Dynasty Warriors, £15. Bloody Roar 2, £25. I'm going to have decided I'm going to go for a full Bloody Roar collection. I think actually, unless I'm mistaken, I only need Bloody Roar 1 and 2 to complete it. I've got 3, 4, is it Bloodline on the GameCube? I've got that one. I don't think there's any other ones I need if I'm off the top of my head. I'll maybe have to do a bit more research. But yeah, I've got a soft spot for these games. I definitely borrowed, I can't remember, I think I had the first or second one. I was a little bit late to the party with the PlayStation 1. We went the N64 route. I really didn't like loading. I was like, what do you mean loading? One of my friends had one, and I eventually got one then. And someone lent me like a stack of games. They said, keep them as long as you want, kind of thing. I think he wanted to sell them to me or something. And I can't remember, it was either the first one or the second one, because I had so many games. It kept me thoroughly entertained for like a weekend or something, and I moved on to the next game. And do you know what I mean? It was one of those kind of things. So I'll know, as soon as I start playing it, I'll remember. It'll all come flooding back to me. So that's Bloody Roar 2 is £25. X-Men versus Street Fighter. I nearly bought this. I think, was it Marvel versus Street Fighter? I can't remember actually. I think it was Marvel Superheroes on the PS1. I think Super Tomato had this in stock, but I blew my budget. I went for the other games. I couldn't afford this as well. It's currently £62, but I really do want this in thy collection. Oh, and Gundam Battle Assault. This is the first one, £25. Obviously Gundam is Bandai. Oh, now this is the other Holy Grail. This is probably, if I had to pick, it's between this and Rival Schools, Mortal Kombat 4. Now, at the start of the year, I wanted it on the N64, but I'm debating whether to get rid of my Nintendo 64. I probably, as soon as it's gone, have withdrawals. But put it this way, I can't find all the connections for it. They're here somewhere, okay? But I'm not really missing it because of collections like the Rare Replay. All the games are on there. So I was going to want this game for the N64. I've seen the N64, it's quite common, unboxed. It's around about £22. And it's big bucks. You're looking at about 80 quid then for the N64 version boxed. So I decided now, because I'm not umming and ahhing with the N64. There's no umming and ahhing with the PlayStation. I'm a big PlayStation fan, okay? I decided I need Mortal Kombat 4 for the PlayStation, okay? And that's £42. But that is a holy grail. I hope to have one of these 3 holy grails in my collection by the end of next year. So, Rival Schools, Mortal Kombat 4, and Dynasty Warriors. Okay, I want at least one of them in my collection, okay, within the next 12 months. All right, guys? Another big hitter, Marvel versus Capcom. Other than the arcade, I don't think I've ever played it. I've got no memory of playing this. Obviously, I'm a massive fan of the second and third one, okay? But visually it still holds up. It looks like a stunning, it doesn't look, it is a stunning looking game, you know. That's currently £78. So some of these games are, that'd be my budget for the month, do you know what I mean? Gone on one game, but it's worth it. Okay, Marvel vs. Capcom, £78. Now this one, yes, I've seen all the videos. The Angry Video Game Nerds done videos on it. Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Sub-Zero. It's £140. Now, this is me. I'm not going to pay £140. There's so many games I'd rather buy. I'm going to buy Godzilla for the PS4. It's currently £110 any day before I buy that game. Okay, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. But I wouldn't consider my collection complete until I got that game in my collection. I'm playing the waiting game on this. Maybe the game prices will crash and start to come down. We don't know. I know high end they are. I watched a video, I think it was Carl Jobst. Sorry, I'm butchering his name. He did a video, and a lot of the high end, really high end graded games are fallen by 97%, up to 97%. So I think that might have a knock-on effect. Okay, so don't get me wrong, I'm not going to pay anywhere near £140 for this game, but I wouldn't consider my PlayStation collection complete without that game in my collection. I really want it in the collection. Maybe Mortal Kombat will do a collections. I think that, why haven't they done one? A modern collection, you know, like the Capcom Fighting collection, do a Mortal Kombat collection. And if that's in there, I consider, then I wouldn't need to buy that. Okay, does that make sense? But currently £140. Okay. Oh, I was going to research this before I started filming. Never mind. Blaze and Blade. Never heard of it. I don't know. Looking at the cover, it's either an RPG or it's a fighting game. Okay. I love my fighting game covers, and the only other good cover art seems to be RPGs. They tend to have the two genres that have the best artwork on their covers. Okay, so it could easily be an RPG, couldn't it? If you're looking at that picture. Or it could be a fighting game. It sounds like it's a fighting game. So something I just like the look of. That's £45. I'm not going to spend £45 without doing some more research on it though. So say I'm going game hunting tomorrow. We're not going this year. For the rest of the year, we're done. It's too busy for us to go with anxiety and stuff like that. There's too many people out there, okay? So say I'm going. Just imagine I'm going game hunting tomorrow. Swansea CX, I've got Blaze and Blade in stock. Then I'll do my research before I part with my £45, okay? On R-Type Delta. Now this is the way I said about R-Types. I'm not sure the difference. Is it a different game? Because you've got like R-Type Final series as well. I'm not too clued up with my R-Types. I think I've got it on the Master System. And I played the demo, the newer one. I played the demo, and I got Final, is it, on the PS2. So R-Type Delta is £32. So obviously if R-Types has got this game in there, wipe this one off. So I'm not going to double dip on the same console, certainly. Okay, so it's currently £32. Oh, this is a hard one to find. This one is the Street Fighter Collection. £35. I got the Street Fighter Collection 2. That's quite reasonably priced, okay? You don't see this one out there. I don't even know if it's in stock online in CX, which means nobody's got it. But yeah, I need that game in my collection. It's not quite Holy Grail territory, because apparently it's not a very good, the Street Fighter 2 version in there isn't a very good version of it or something. I know the year they played this game at EVO, all the pros, the top level players, boycotted it because it was a rubbish version of it, or so it was broken. But as a collector, with my collector's Jurassic Park hat on, I needed it in my collection. That's £35, okay? The Raiden Project is £48. I like my Raiden games, I like my shmups. So yeah, 48 buckaroos. Get in the collection. Wow. Darkstalkers, The Night Warriors is £45. Now again, this is just from a collector's point of view, because I've got that game, or the arcade perfect version of that is on the Capcom Fighting Collection. Okay, what an amazing collection that is. I think I said that earlier on, but every time it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside to know these things exist and they're in my collection forever. Okay, that's currently £45. That's just from a pure collector's. Yes, I'll play the game, but my go-to, I promise you, will be the PS4 version of that game. Okay, that's currently £45. And Bloody Roar 1 is £35. I don't know if you're tallying this up. Yes, it's an expensive console to collect for. Again, like I said, I can't. Looking at the cover, it probably was Bloody. I think that's the one I've played, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, yeah, I need that in my collection. £35. Tobal number 1. That, unless I'm mistaken, it's a kind of. Oh, what's it called? Is it Power Stone? Am I thinking of the right game? Kind of you're in like an arena and fighting game kind of thing, but there's platforms in it, I believe. I remember reading about it in the magazines, then completely forgetting about it. And when I got back into collecting the retro magazines, it had a really good write-up and review. So yeah, I like the look of that. And that is Squaresoft. That's £12. No idea what this is. Versus VS. That's £15. Again, that gives me fighting game vibes looking at the cover. Again, if I'm going game hunting tomorrow and Swansea CX have got it in stock, I'm not going to spend £15 on a complete blind buy. Yes, I do like the cover. But if it's a fighting game, whoever it reviewed, I just want it in my collection, you know. That's 15 buckaroos. Okay, what is next? Sorry, I got other thing. I got my iPad here. G Darius is £22. I've picked up one of these games on the PS4. I haven't got around to playing it yet, though. I definitely played one of these back in the day. I think I went up a friend's house and he had it. I said, oh, what's this? Put it on, and it was a ton of fun, very arcadey. Just the way I like my shmups. 22 buckaroos. Grandia, £22. Picking this up, or want to pick this up, because I think last time I went game hunting, I picked up the sequel, so Grandia 2 on the PS2. And my imaginary friend Chris, shout out my imaginary friend Chris, recommends it. So if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. £22. And I think the last game, definitely, I owned this back in the day. Kuji, I want to say. Kuji the Heartless, £10. It's a kind of adventure game. You play as a Kuji, the main guy on the cover. And he's lived for hundreds of years or whatever. It's like a 3D adventure hack and slash kind of game with puzzles and stuff like that in it. I remember having a lot of fun with it. I remember the opening cutscene was really, really good. So, yeah, that's £10. So, that is 28 games, okay? I got them all written down here. And the total of that, I'm not going to go through the list again with all the prices. So, grand total of £951 for those 22 games. So, if my workings out are correct, 951 divided by 28 is £33.96. So, rounded up to £34 average. So a lot of money. This could take me 5 years to buy all them, okay? I try to stay away with PlayStation because of the dual cases. I tend not to buy them on eBay because you don't know how they're going to post them with postal packaging. If it's anything to do with DPD, I used to work for DPD, I just don't spend my money. So if there's any sellers out there watching this video, don't use DPD because, again, I know how bad they're terrible, okay? But in my area, there's a lot of posts saying, does anyone recognise this door? They're saying they've delivered it to my address and they've sent me a photo. There's proof we've delivered it to your address. It's like, that's not my door. So they seem to be, especially this time of the year, I know they take on a lot of staff. They're under so much pressure, basically. They deliver it wherever they want. So if it's got DPD, I don't touch it. But yeah, these are games 28 games to find in the wild, ideally. So I'll be doing another games market. Cardiff Games Market was brilliant. Any conventions I go to, and obviously my local CXs, my retro game stores and stuff like that, okay? But the other thing as well I wanted to say, so if like some of these games go up and down in price, how expensive in 5 years, like what's the most, Mortal Kombat Mythology, Sub-Zero, to find an half decent copy of that, you could be looking around £200, or it could be come down to £80. We just have no idea what's going on with the gaming market, right? This is probably going to be my biggest list. Maybe PS2, that's a fantastic console to collect for as well. But 28, that's my biggest list so far, okay? And it's definitely the most expensive. I think it was 40 something pound was the Xbox One. Then it's complete. And it's funny, it's a nice feeling. I'll be able to go into CX or any of the game stores. There's no point in looking because I know my collection's complete, you know. But I always check out the PlayStation section, okay? So, if anyone's still watching, we're going to play a little game now. First of all, thank you very much for watching my video till the end, all right? If you are watching this now and listening to what I'm saying, do me a favour. Obviously, I've got PlayStation jumper on, okay? Check out the merch. I look cool, don't I? Say, nice Xbox jumper. Or comment, I love the Xbox jumper, or something like that, okay? Because if someone else is reading it and they haven't watched to this point, they'll be like, no, that's an Xbox, that's PlayStation, dumbass. Just have a little bit of fun, see what happens, okay? So can a few of you do that? Help a brother out? Yeah, that is my PlayStation wish list. Wish me luck getting all those games, you know? Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Love you. Bye.